Today I'm changing the oil on this 2013 Lexus RX350. Follow along if you want to see how this is done. So these are the tools you'll need for the job. Link in the description below to get all of this. We got our oil. This is the oil filter wrench specifically for this vehicle. New oil filter, oil spill mat to keep the driveway clean, oil catch pan, and you're gonna need a socket set, really the 14 millimeter. I hope you didn't lose yours. So let's get started. The front of the vehicle is lifted up on ramps. I have some jack stands for extra safety, and wheel chocks are behind the rear wheels. Crawling underneath the front of the vehicle, you're going to find your oil pan right here. This is your oil filter. And on the back side of the oil pan, this is the oil drain bolt. I'll position underneath the oil pan my oil spill mat and my drain pan. And with your 14 millimeter socket, simply remove this drain bolt. And allow that old oil to fully drain from the vehicle. The old oil is still draining, but we're going to, while that happens, remove the oil filter. So attach your socket wrench to the oil filter wrench, and then that will attach then to the oil filter housing. Rotate counterclockwise to remove the oil filter housing with the oil filter. Make sure the catch pan is below the oil filter because it's going to leak some oil. And this is the old filter. Remove that from the housing. And make sure when you pull off your drain bolt that you also pull off this washer between the oil pan and the drain bolt. Mine was stuck on the oil pan even after I removed the bolt, so I pulled it off. This can be cleaned up and reused or just replace it. Back on the workbench, I have my old filter housing, my old filter, old washer, and this is the new filter, same size as the original. We're going to have to also replace this O-ring that's found here, the original, so I'll use a little pick. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver and pull that off without messing up the threads on the oil filter housing. Replace that one with the new. And actually, backing up a little bit, when I removed this oil filter housing, technically you could also have done it a different way and made it a bit cleaner. Could have removed this little plug here. You do that with your socket wrench, and then that allows you to insert this little plastic piece, which was provided with my oil filter kit, onto here. You thread that in. That pushes a spring, allowing your oil to flow out of this nozzle. This is just less of a mess, although we had a big oil catch pan, so we didn't spill anything on the driveway anyway. And while we're in here, we can also replace this O-ring. This original O-ring is replaced by a new one from the kit, right in here. And then reinsert this plug. You can tighten this up to the proper torque more easily when the entire filter housing is back on the vehicle. Given the condition that this washer was in, it was rather black with baked on old oil. I really should have replaced this washer. Instead, I cleaned it up because I don't have a replacement handy. I'll provide in the description below a packet you can buy of these. They're rather cheap. And then you can replace your washer every time you change your oil, or maybe even every few times. Regardless, I cleaned mine up with some sandpaper and rags. It looks pretty good. So, weird turn of events. It turns out that this filter, which is this same part number from Fram, failed when in use. I found this part here, which should be here on the filter itself. It came off the filter and then was lodged on the filter housing down in this recess. So I'm glad I caught that before I reassembled everything. I'm going to link below a different filter, not the Fram filter, because I really don't trust these anymore. That's all I have for now, so I'll reuse this, but next I'm going to a different brand, a different part number of filter to prevent this issue from happening again. And to get this little part out of the bottom of the filter housing, I really had to pry at it with a screwdriver, break parts of it, and then finally it pulled off of the filter housing. Pop the new filter into the filter housing, and we're ready to reassemble to the vehicle. Reassemble the filter and housing to the vehicle, and lock it down with your filter wrench. It really doesn't have to be attached to the vehicle too tight because you want to be able to remove it next time you change the oil. Don't forget to tighten up this little spout as well. And reassemble the cleaned up or new drain washer to the drain bolt and to the oil pan. Snug up this bolt, but don't tighten it too much. You want to be able to remove it next time you change the oil. And wipe down the vehicle so later you can observe easily any leaks. At the top of the engine, we're ready to begin filling the vehicle with new oil. So I'll remove the oil fill cap. You can see on that cap, it specifies the oil to use, 0W20, and we're definitely going to use fully synthetic. Engine oil capacity here is 6.4 quarts. So we're going to go through all of this container and some of this container. Conveniently, I ordered all of my supplies, including this oil, from Amazon, so that makes this job much more quicker than going to AutoZone, picking up your oil. This job, even at 30 minutes, is easier done at home than going to a quick change oil place like a Jiffy Lube, where you got to travel there, travel back, sit and wait while they mess around with your vehicle, and they may not even do it correctly. So not only am I saving some money, not a ton of money, I'm getting a higher quality job here, and I do this with all less time investment. Another benefit is that I can observe the vehicle myself, the healthiness of the rest of the vehicle, look around the underside, and observe if any other repairs need to be completed. I'll add a bit of my second container. I'm intentionally going to underfill this vehicle for now, run the engine a little bit, check the fluid level with the dipstick because I don't want to overfill. I'll later add more oil as needed. Now you might run your engine a little while, get it a bit warm, let all the oil flow into the oil pan before checking the fluid. I'm just going to first give it a check here to see how it's generally looking. Wipe off the dipstick. Reinsert the dipstick to measure the fluid level. And the oil level comes up to about here between this dot and this second dot. That indicates I'm about right on the oil level. So I'll not add any more right now. I'll drive it around a little bit and then check it. Also, it's important to do that ideally while the vehicle is completely level, not on jack stands like it is right now. So I'll pull out the funnel and reassemble my cap. So I have the engine running right now. I'm going to get underneath the vehicle and make sure I don't see any leaks. Everything looks pretty dry here. Also around this bolt, it's dry there. So I think this project is a success. And with that, the engine oil is replaced in this vehicle. I'm ready to go another 3,000 to 5,000 miles before replacing this engine oil again. And some people might suggest even up to 10,000 miles using fully synthetic, and that is supported to an extent, at least on this vehicle, with some oil testing I did with Blackstone Lab. Check out the link in the description below to also get your engine oil tested to learn the condition of your vehicle. I hope this helps you with your project.